Hello everyone and welcome to Quality Games. Today we are having episode 9 of the Western Roman Empire campaign in Barbarian Invasion expansion. And in the last episode we ended up in a pretty dire situation in the area of modern France, as the Franks were able to break through, but our army from British Isles is coming in to rescue, and it should be able to help next turn. Maybe actually we should get these troops to land so they can help in the defense of Samarobriva here, in case this army is able to attack next turn already. And then we had some fights in the Africa area. Actually, 2 armies to take care of. And let's begin with this one. So some axemen and cavalry. And I think our heavy cavalry is going to be our main force in this attack, since the general's bodyguard get replenished pretty fast. So let's try to take down the enemy cavalry first, because that will make getting out of the fight quite a bit easier. And good thing too with our generals at the moment is that they all have gained a decent amount of experience. So hopefully we can break this armored camel mercenary unit before the axemen are ready to enter the fight. Okay, they're breaking, good. And then let's try to take down the axemen here. And let's see if we can chase down those camels. While the rest of the army is taking care of the rest of the enemies.
Pursue them and drive them from the
okay, I think we will be able to decimate this whole enemy army.
All Rome will be amazed at such a victory.
And there are some mercenaries available, which is nice. It will help a great deal in capturing this city, of course provided that the enemies do not recruit them first. And maybe we can raise some taxes, at least in Campus Quadi, maybe in... okay, it seems Augusta Trevororum doesn't need or cannot raise any more taxes. So I think we are pretty much done here. And it's time to finish the turn. And there seems to be pretty much blue-faced cities, meaning pretty low public order, at least in southern Spain. And let's send this unit to scout a bit, so no sign of the enemy army there. The gates are wide open, and I think it's grounded to recruit at least some units here. I think these will be enough. And did we get actually a mercenary captain? Yes, we did. Unfortunately, he doesn't provide command bonus, but let's make do with that army. So none of these shouldn't be too bad, but the faction leader and faction heir might be problematic. So maybe just to be sure, let's hire additional mercenary Equites veterani unit. And the balance of power seems to be favoring us, at least a bit at the moment. The interesting question after winning this battle, at least hopefully winning this battle, is where to bring this army next. I guess we will try to conserve this borderati cavalry as much as possible, but I think here we will just push through. And let's hope the Axemen will break soon.
Our soldiers have captured the walls! Now is the time to press on and capture this place!
And I think we will bring some reinforcements in. And they are all breaking. Wonderful news. Let's try to take down of them as many as possible. And the balance of power is looking even more promising. And where are the enemy crossbowmen? Let's send that cavalry detachment there, while these guys will head to the other side of the city. Let's see if we can catch some of the enemies unaware here. Okay, here is Berber Lancers. I think they will slip through. But let's see. The other side here. Okay, it seems the Berber Lancers are heading this way, or they're not, but their distraction was enough for the enemy to get their troops to safety. And it seems the battle is joined here, so let's send some of the other units to help, and let's bring in the crossbowmen. I think they will be needed. Okay, they were only peasants. Okay, seems they haven't had enough yet. So let's cause some additional casualties. And I think it's time to bring forward the crossbows. And the peasants are moving there. They need to be taken out before we can really start to pound on the bodyguards there. But let's make sure that these don't get into fight. And it seems the enemy does not have crossbowmen here, or at least I don't see them. And let's bring the general to the other side so he may be able to flank the enemies. And now it's time to give these trio here a bit of a rest. Okay. The cavalry here is starting to be rested. And it seems we need to go a bit more forward. I think the enemy is about to charge. And it's time to bring in the flanking force. And let's hope that this unit does not try to flank us. It actually is. So these equites shall engage them.
Has been killed. This will surely make his followers waver.
At least to slow them down. And then let's take the reinforcements to this battle. And actually the loss of the mercenaries here is not that big of a deal, because they are quite expensive to maintain. So I'm not especially disappointed of losing them. I think the Berbers have been destroyed. Excellent. And I guess it's time for this guy to head to the Eastern Roman Empire side. dimmity. There are some culture penalties, I think. And we don't need stables here. But that arena will be nice, and also training some additional troops. And I think we can leave one governor here. Can we actually take this unit? No, we cannot. Or maybe we can. So let's take actually the whole army with us, and then we will need to have a ship. Maybe we will make one in Carthage to get the troops to the other side to fight. And then let's check some of these cities. Let's make some more units. Are the mines here producing well? Maybe not well enough. And dockyard is too expensive. And Cordoba needs proconsul's palace, of course. And let's see, okay, Burdigala is also having some public order issues. It's about to grow pretty soon. And can we raise taxes in Epuracum? I think we can. And actually, the Burgundy are attacking Franks. And of course, if the Franks get destroyed, they will become a horde. And once again, that will be problems for us. I think Tarentum could use some additional troops. And Rome could make some also. So should we make Auxilia Palatina or Plumbatari? I think I will opt for Plumbatari here. And of course Massilia needs some more public order as well. And then it's time to bring in the army. And it's time to begin to take the fight to the Saxons. A good thing is that unless we blunder, we should have no threats to us in the south or in the north, or rather in southwest and northwest. And these armations will be quite beneficial for us if we can avoid the enemy archers. And the enemy hunters seems to be moving to engage us. Maybe we need to move a bit more forward and have the generals ready to assist if there is a need. And let's send the cavalry to flank. And it seems some of the enemies are actually trying to charge us. So let's bring back the archers and the Sarmatian mercenary unit as well. And I think we can shoot at those Levi spearmen at our leisure. And then let's use the bodyguards to take down the mercenary veteran. I think a frontal charge will do the job here. And it seems the majority of the enemy army is withdrawing. So let's give it chase. And maybe some light cavalry can mop up that veteran unit. And I would really like to take down those hunters. Let's see if we can catch up with them. I think in ancient battles, and I guess at least to some degree in modern battles as well, the majority of the casualties are inflicted when one side does break and starts to flee. Because it's so much easier to hit the fleeing enemy in the back. I guess that's the reason. And at least we can cause some casualties here. Okay, nice. So not that many enemies got away. And next turn we can set our sights to Colonia Agrippina and can actually send some reinforcements from Augusta Trevororum. And I think there's going to be a battle next turn here. But it's time to... okay, so not just yet. Maybe next turn. And Lepsis Manga has built the Governor's Palace. Let's hope the public order there gets improving. Seems so. And actually this port would benefit us nothing, so let's not build it.
At your service. Secrecy is assured. General, move out. Out of move, sir.
And let's see if we have a ship available that's in decent enough shape. Let's bring it to help. And it seems Tarraco also will need some additional garrisons. And Als and Massilia are having some troubles as well.
Imperator! Onward! Move depleted, sir.
And let's send the reinforcements from here to reinforce the army there. And we could have some mercenaries available as well. And it seems the Goths are only wandering around there. If we could do something to increase our income. That would be most welcome. But apparently our options are somewhat limited. Maybe a farm here could give us something, especially as the population is declining there. So the public order shouldn't be much of an issue. Okay, and I think we have a turn. And it seems 1.5 armies are attacking Salona. Let's hope that we can hold those last 2 armies away. I think our defenses are in pretty good shape, so we should be able to hold our own here. Let's see, there is 2 siege towers and 1 battering ram here. And it seems the enemy has somehow magically got 1 siege tower and battering ram there as well. And I think our plan is pretty much the same. Unfortunately, our troop count is quite a bit smaller, but fortunately the enemy army is somewhat, or there are not as many generals as last time. I guess we had to fight against 5 or 6 enemy generals, and that shows. Okay, the crossbowmen are in position, then the archers, and once again the peasants here shall take the brunt of enemy charges. Because we need to conserve the rest of our troops. And what unit is... oh, this Limitane. I guess we will bring it here as well. And we can start the battle. And let's see how the enemy towers will perform. Hopefully on the other side all towers will get destroyed. Because then the enemy needs to circle around the city, and that would be very beneficial for us. And is it so that they will get the battering ram in place as well here? Okay. Let's see the other side, and it seems we are in a bit of out of luck here. So, if the enemy would rush in, through the gates, I think we could be able to pour some boiling oil on them. And it seems the battering ram has been somehow blocked. That's okay. It will give the towers at least some additional time to fire at the enemies. And we may be a bit lucky since there seems to be a bug here. So the enemies in this tower cannot enter. And thus they won't be able to capture this gateway, so the army likely will start to move here rather soon. And the enemies are taking quite nice casualties already. So about 15% casualties already. I think these will soon be able to capture the gateway. Of course, it's interesting to see if the battering ram here will block the enemy entry, or at least slow it down.
The walls are no longer ours.
Okay.
The enemy have taken them.
And they have the gates. And the armies here are starting to move. At least mostly. It's okay if some of the units will stay here to get shot. At least, if not even taken out. And of course the walls here, I guess in the southern side of the city, will have a nice field practice day. And if I'm not completely mistaken, these might actually be the last two Vandal family members. I'm not certain, but there is a possibility. Because it seemed that some of the armies, or the remaining two armies, had now the general's icon on them. So taking those two down might actually end the Vandal threat altogether. And that of course would be some wonderful news. I guess this unit won't get far enough to enter the fight, but there are quite a few of enemies marching towards us here. And here the enemy has taken 45% casualties. That's nice. Let's make a quick check what's the situation on this other side. So these guys are still having troubles with the siege tower. I guess when we can inflict enough casualties to them, they can enter the siege tower and move to engage. But it will take some time still. But the real fight is about to begin here, and apparently this side is going to have a bit quieter time. So let's focus our attention here. And it seems the horde horsemen are starting to fire. So two units of them, and that's actually okay. Fortunately, they seem to be unable to shoot over the building here, because they could cause quite heavy casualties. But now it's time for our own archers to respond in kind. And I think pretty soon, at least, these guys should start to take casualties. Okay, good. And I think the crossbows and bows should be the main damage dealers here. And as the enemies are starting to break, I think these chosen warriors will break somewhat easier. Unfortunately, the arrows are flying a bit from the wrong side. Okay, good. Let's make a quick check here. What's the situation? Okay, towers are still doing the damage here. Some 60% of the enemies have gone down. And those spearmen there seems to be, that unit seems to be going somewhere. And this unit as well. Interesting. And based on the music, there is some kind of battle going on somewhere. Okay. It seems they cannot get through, but we can shoot them nonetheless. That's fine. And it seems all of them are breaking now. And hopefully the towers here will finish the job. And we have some peasants entering. I think you guys need to conserve ammo a bit. And the peasants there are routing. And I guess these guys will go down rather soon. So it all seems to be coming down on what these guys here are able to do. Okay, it seems that the casualties sustained here won't solve the bug, so maybe if we can take everyone down, maybe some other unit can get up. So the number of casualties is 69%. We have 60 minutes left of the battle time. And the peasants are still undecided whether to attack or not. If we had cavalry, I think we would try to push against the missile units here. But since we don't, then we won't try that push. If this tower here could shoot down the siege tower, that would be great. But I don't dare to send the missile units here to assist. Of course, the problem is that at some point we need to take care of the remainder of that army. Okay, still not enough, it seems. Overall, this seems to be a bit buggy battle. Okay, another unit here. And the result seems to be rather same. Would that be enough for you? Okay, it seems the horsemen are charging, so let's prepare to fire at them. Enemy casualties are starting to go to 3/4. I think a decent crossbow volley here will break them. Yes. And let's hope they will flee far enough for the towers to take them down. Okay, still another unit. Maybe a bit better armor they have. So that's why they are going down a bit faster than the first unit that tried to utilize the tower there. Let's move the archers a bit so they can get a better shot. And the horsemen should go down nicely. Excellent. And a clear victory. Our casualties were good enough. rather small enough. And I think we managed to clear out at least one of the enemy armies. Okay, I think we will take that guy to our family. And we are the strongest faction, that's nice. Carthage has an academy. And then I think we will send this guy to the other side. Maybe Carthago Nova. Next turn. So he can go in there. And unfortunately, these cities are... Maybe it's those bandits in the area. There seems to be at least somewhat. Okay, it seems Burgindala needs the Governor's Palace. So no new troops this turn. And we need to break the siege of Augusta Trevororum. Of course, this enemy army isn't that threatening against us. So maybe we could and rather should move against Colonia Agrippina. We could capture it next turn. And in Londinium, actually it's growing as well. So we need next turn to build some palace there. And for a moment Salona seems peaceful. So if we actually can get a bit money somewhere, I think we should retrain as much of the troops there as is possible. Okay, and then let's use the final a few denarii or sestertii for these troops. Okay, and I think... Okay, so the enemy, the Vandals have only 2 family members at the moment, it seems. So we might be actually in pretty decent position to take them down. And then... Oh, the army is here.
At your service. Secrecy is assured. No more moves, sir. Imperator, onward. No more moves.
And this army should head... Actually, if we are to make the Governor's Palace, I think we need to lower the costs somewhat. So let's get rid of those mercenaries. And this army, I think it shall head to the Northern Europe. But that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also turn on the notifications and share this video if you think someone would like to see Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion played. Have a great rest of the day. Quality Old Games out.